Hi, my name's Todd Wills. I'm from Self-Managed Super, and I'm here with David Basoli today. And we're here to discuss the SMSF administration software and platform that SMSF Alliance offers and how that's different to other products or other offerings in the market. Hi, David. How you going?
Hi, Todd. Very well, thanks.
So, we had a run through this a while ago, and you took me through the resource that SMSF Alliance offers. Can you tell me a little bit about that platform or the software and how it might help some people?
Well, Todd, we provide SMSF administration services. There are many administrators out there who provide much the same service. We prepare the financials, tax returns. So we answer technical queries, and we assist clients in that regard. Our service, however, has evolved utilizing primarily software that we've developed ourselves that wraps around the administration platform and provides a broader level of services. Basically, we analyze all the data that we hold within our admin software and produce a number of value-added items for advisors and to a lesser extent accountants. Ours, by the way, is a B2B service. We don't deal with direct trustees. And the reason why accountants possibly get less value from our service than do financial planners is that a lot of the value adds that we produce provide financial planning opportunities. And of course, an accountant, unless they're licensed, can't use those. So primarily, our value adds are focused towards the financial planning community. So what we do, having analyzed all the data, we produce a couple of dozen potential opportunities and alerts. These are things that might be opportunities for future service benefit, for recontribution strategy, for account equalization, picking up problems with trustees and members. There are about 24 of these. And we produce these as an alert, which the advisor can then analyze based on the information we provide to see if they are actually an opportunity or not. Given that we've only got the SMSF data and given that we don't know the client, we will identify the opportunities, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're valid. So there's a couple of dozen of those. We also provide birthday alerts, which sounds rather chintzy, but they're not really, because what we provide is before each birthday, about 30 days out, all of the legislative relevance of this birthday with opportunities that might be available because of it, or alerts, dangers which could also be involved. We find that even if people aren't using it, even the advisors aren't using that for doing actual planning with the particular client, it's a very good revision, and it's something which they can share with their staff. We have an investment strategy tool, which is by far and away the most significant in the business. Most investment strategy tools, indeed all of them to a large extent, and some to only this extent, provide a bit of sys wording and a lot of blank boxes for you to fill in. We've tried to envisage every different investment opportunity that you might incorporate in an SMSF, and we have provided a number of potential wordings that you can select. So, for example, if you have geared real estate, if you have a business being run through an associated trust, if you are invested in infrastructure, if you are invested in solar arrays or bull semen, that's not an often one that we see, but certainly from time to time. All of these items are covered. We also include in that a derivative risk statement if there are derivatives, a collectible storage statement if there are collectibles, even a cryptocurrency risk statement, which isn't required at this time, but probably will in the future. So we provide it as well. And so it's an extremely comprehensive document which comes out in Word and can be altered in whichever way the user wishes. But we find that generally they're pretty right to go straight away. We provide that in two versions. One is the benchmark version, which is the ATO's gold standard, and the other is the modern version of 0 to 100% in everything. If you're using the benchmark standard, we also do an analysis of every sector that every investment in every fund is invested in. And there's a certain alert there which pops up if you have sectors which are unallocated, which can happen particularly with manual investments where no one has put in a sector for that particular investment. We find that's very popular. We also have a very good discussion paper, which is bespoke and can be utilised whenever there is a consideration of moving from an APRA fund into an SMSF. It does very detailed comparisons of fees, of features, and it's not an advice document because it can't be. We're not giving advice. It's a discussion paper which tries to cover all items, good, bad, or indifferent. We have a similar discussion paper which can be produced by an advisor on a yearly basis, which retrieves all of the fees and features that we used the previous year and can then be put into a report to see whether or not it's in fact worth continuing the fund, if you like. We have other items which might be available elsewhere, but we find them very useful. We, for example, will list every pension in every fund with their minimums, their maximums, what's been drawn, because we process on a daily basis, whether there's been, what the tax components are, and whether or not they're involved with our auto-commute facility. We do have an auto-commutation service whereby we will automatically process benefits drawn over the minimum pension as a lump sum withdrawal, if that's available, or as a pension commutation, if it's available, and if it is, and there's more than one pension, from the one with the worst tax components. Now, those are implemented by way of a form which is not done retrospectively, it's done prospectively as it should be under the Act. We also have quite a reasonable swathe of technical papers which can be accessed on pretty much every subject. You know, that's not a rare thing. There are a lot of providers who have a similar thing in that regard. And we've recently introduced, just touching on a paraplanning service for SMSFs. That's not provided by us. That's outsourced, and we don't have any involvement in it really. But we have been impressed with one particular service provider, so we're doing that. Another little thing that we're doing now, two things which will be introduced shortly and may in fact be introduced by the time you see this video. One is an amortization table for related party SMSF loans. They can be quite tricky, and you don't want to fall foul of gnarly and things like that by not getting the numbers right. So that's something which we'll have released shortly, if not already. And the other one is a MyGov reconciliation tool. MyGov is always the bugbear of SMSFs. Primarily because, or super planning generally, primarily because we don't know what the ATO have got. In fact, sometimes what the ATO have got is wrong, but because we can't get feeds, we don't know. So we have a not entirely satisfactory, but close to a solution whereby advisors and their trustee clients can update their MyGov data and it be fed into our systems to ensure that there's a little bit more accuracy. At least we know what we know, but that might be different from what the ATO knows, and we need to bring that information together in order for some of our opportunities and alerts to be more correct.
And I see that it's a continuation of the sort of excellence that we've come to expect from SMSF Alliance, being that, you know, at the innovative forefront. I remember, I think it was earlier this year in May or April, I think SMSF Alliance released a calculator for the superannuation earnings tax. Is that correct?
Yes, in fact, we've done a bit of work on that, quite a bit, and it's available for public use on our site. We've modeled a few different scenarios, and anyone who's interested in the subject can find out for themselves what the significance is. Our stance on that mirrors that of the SMSF Association. A, we don't think it should be there at all, but B, if it is, it should be based on realised gains, not unrealised gains. But in any case, the calculator and report there does give you the opportunity to model various items. Just on that too, Todd, I've been in this business since before SMSFs were invented. And I've seen many things over the years, and I've been involved in many things over the years, which have made SMSFs, I suppose, what they are today to one extent or another. So because I've had such a long experience in this particular sector, I've regarded this particular business that I've got now as my ability to bring together all of the things that I've learned to make this the most proactive type service that you can get. I have to laugh a little because each year I have been addressing the SMSF conference for one of the big accounting institutes, and I've billed myself as a retiree with an obsessive personality and an SMSF hobby. It's a bit of an obsession for me, so that's why I'm always turning out these new things. But it's going to be a job which I don't think it'll ever finish, because the more things that I create, the more things that I think of that we could have. It's good fun. I really enjoy it.
And especially when the SMSF world is constantly changing all the time. I mean, legislative sort of rules being brought in, or different treatments of different areas of SMSF. So it does pay to, I think, be very dynamic in that way, like SMSF Alliance and the service that they offer.
Yep, we enjoy it. Give us all the changes. Gives us something to play with.
Yeah, it's never boring, is it? The field's never boring. I mean,
not at all.
There's always something happening. Always something happening, and it's great that that people involved in the SMSF world have a service that SMSF Alliance offers. So,
gee, Todd, I'll have to pay you more. Yes,
okay.
you're right. Of course.
Did you have anything else that you'd like to add to that, David?
No. I think by now people will be starting to nod off, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, thanks again, David. It was wonderful to talk to you again today.
Thanks, Todd. All the best.